Creed 3 is both directed and stars Michael B. Jordan alongside Jonathan Majors and Tessa Thompson. When an old friend of Adonis's is released from prison, Adonis will have to face his troubled past and his childhood friend in the ring. If you've been watching my Rocky and Creed series for the past couple months, you know I love the Rocky series, I love the Creed series. I think overall they're both amazing, and considering that this was the first one to not have Sylvester Stallone in it, a lot of people were put on edge by that. But for me personally, I did kind of like the decision. Immediately it made it sure that this would be Adonis's story. It wouldn't be fully connected to the other Rocky movies like Creed 1 or 2, which I like, but did hold Adonis back at times. This story, he was allowed to go all out, especially considering the fact that this was Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut. So for a whole variety of reasons, I was so excited for Creed 3. And after seeing it, I can safely say, as a movie, it is fantastic. As a Creed and Rocky movie, I do have some pointers. Again, first and foremost, love the movie, but I do have nitpicks. Alright, so let's start with the acting. It's fantastic. What do you want me to say? Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors, all of them are just bringing their all to this movie, and you can tell. The past of Adonis Creed is just constantly weighing in on that character throughout the entirety of the movie, and Michael B. Jordan wears that weight on his shoulders like a pro. Jonathan Majors and his very layered character and connection to Adonis Creed is just so interesting, and you just love seeing Jonathan Majors in literally every single scene that he's in, because you know that the character of Damien that he's playing is just so smart and so calculated in everything that he's doing, despite the fact that when you're watching him, he's trying to portray himself as this very sad and lonely character, but instantly from the get-go, you know that this guy is up to something, and he is smart about it. And even though Tessa Thompson is not in the movie a ton, when she is there, she is fantastic. Bianca and Adonis are so good in this movie, and their relationship and their struggles are so realistic. As are the relationships between all of the characters in this movie. Adonis and Damien are so good as these childhood best friends who finally get to rekindle their relationship, but after a while, their relationship starts to sour more and more and more. And Adonis's relationship with his daughter in this movie is just so adorable. The fights in the movie are also amazing for a great variety of reasons. For one, I saw this movie in RPX, so every single time a character punched another, you felt the vibration of the punch. Another thing that I loved about the fight scenes in this movie that isn't in really any Rocky or Creed movie beforehand is the analysis. You constantly hear from real-life fighters that boxing isn't just punch, punch, punch. It's a chess match, and this is the first movie to really portray that to the audience. A lot of the time, whenever a character will throw a punch, the other character will start to see a weakness in the other, and they'll start to focus on that one particular weakness, instantly portraying to the audience that, okay, there is a strategy now, without using any dialogue. And when you get to the end fight in this movie between Adonis and Damien, good God, the fight overall is very good, but honestly nothing special. But there is one segment that blew my mind in the theater. I can't give away what happens without spoiling it, but it is a stroke of character and storytelling genius. Michael B. Jordan is a huge fan of anime in general, and you can tell that influenced a lot of that segment of the fight. The cinematography is great as usual, again, especially that end fight scene, and the music is also really good. Just not as good as the first two Creed movies. There is a new composer for this movie, and you can really tell because although the music in this movie is far from bad, it's not to the grand scale that the first two Creed scores were. I mean, they barely even play Fighting Strong in this movie, and that is Creed's theme. Also, I would have liked a bit more screen time between Adonis and his daughter. I mean, we do get a couple really good scenes between them, but after the second half of the movie, they don't really interact a whole lot. And in terms of the editing, I did have my couple flaws with the scene transitions. There are a couple times where a scene will just cut and then they'll start a new scene with completely different volume. And in those couple moments, it doesn't really feel like there's that great of a resolution to one scene or a follow through to one scene to the other. But again, as I said before, major nitpicks. Overall, I still really loved this movie. The acting is amazing, the characters are great, the fights are awesome, the visuals are stunning, and the music is really good. I do have some nitpicks involving the editing, but again, those are very minor complaints. If I'm being completely honest, it's probably the worst Creed movie in my opinion, but being the worst Creed movie is far from being compared to the worst of other franchises. I'm going to give Creed 3 an A. Well guys, thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments down below. Rank the Creed movies based on your personal opinion. For me, again, Creed 3 is definitely at the bottom, but still really great, and that's because Creed 1 is right above it, and Creed 2 is my all-time favorite because, again, as I repeated in my last review, it just floored me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are the best. And don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon down below to stay up to date on all things movie, all things TV, all things nerd.